Hey everybody, my name is David Turner and I am on the Fmyc core team. I'm also an executive team member of Fmyc, but more importantly, I'm a youth pastor. And I've been in every single youth pastor role, from volunteer to part-time and now full-time youth pastor. Right now I'm serving at the Hillsdale Free Methodist Church in Hillsdale, Michigan, and it's just a great experience being here and being able to serve God by serving students. And what I'm here to do today is to get you excited for what's going to be happening at Fmyc 2014. If you haven't heard already, Fmyc 2014 is happening July 5 through 10, 2014. We're back in Moby Arena at Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we want every Free Methodist youth group in the nation to get their students coming to this. So before I get to all the nitty-gritty details of things, I just want to talk to you a little bit about why we are doing this. One of the things I had the great privilege of doing in my local conference was leading a small group of youth pastors. And it was at one of those times when we were sort of gathered around talking about ministry, talking about things, that we actually brought up the question, is IYC or Fmyc something that we really want to invest in as a denomination? Is it something that is really useful? And what was amazing to me, what just blew me away in that setting, was the fact that out of all those youth pastors that were gathered around with us in that small group, a majority of them received their call to ministry at Fmyc. And what we realized as a core group is that it is in our DNA to gather the family, to invest in leadership, to develop leaders. And so we thought, man, we really need to do this. We are now in the process. We are waist deep, neck deep, some of us, in rolling out things for Fmyc 2014. Our purpose in doing this is to affirm the overarching goals of Fmyc, to come alongside you as a youth worker in the local church and help you as a resource to disciple students and bring up the next leaders of the church. So basically, Fmyc exists to create an environment where students develop an authentic relationship with God and others. At the Fmyc experience, you're going to get to do some really amazing things with your students, and your students are going to get to experience some amazing things besides just the incredible creation and just waking up and seeing those giant mountains just towering over the Colorado State University campus. We are going to come alongside of you as an event, as an FM-infused core, to help you in fostering relationships with your students, not only within your group, but actually with sister youth groups all across the country. Fmyc also exists to come alongside of you in helping your students discover and develop their potential for ministry. There's going to be opportunities at Fmyc where you and your students are going to be poured into in terms of leadership, in terms of developing your spiritual formation and their spiritual formation, their leadership in different abilities and skills in order to unleash them as the future leaders of the Free Methodist Church. Through Fmyc, your group is also going to get to serve the needs of the community. Keith Luke is our Recreation and Service Projects Director. He is going to be heading up larger-than-life service opportunities for everybody at Fmyc, and so stay tuned for that. Those things are being developed even as we speak. You know, and finally, our purpose, or why we're doing this, is to come alongside of you and your students in connecting to the greater body of the Free Methodist body of Christ. You know, we are one denomination, but we are all part of a family. And we want to come alongside and help students to gain a fresh vision for this movement that we call Free Methodism. You know, having said all of that, I do want to say this, is that Fmyc does not exist to be an event that is big and flashy and all full of hype. You know, even though we've got some awesome bands and some awesome speakers that are going to be there, we've got some awesome people and organizations that are going to be working with us to help us in reaching our goals, the hype is not what it's about. What it's about is developing our future leaders, pouring into these students that are going to begin to lead the church in the coming years. So, what can you do as a youth leader? Well, first of all, commit to bringing your group to Fmyc 2014. You can find all kinds of information on the event at fmyc2014.com. We would love to hear from you. Connect with our Facebook page, Fmyc. Look it up on Facebook, look it up on Twitter. Commit to telling other churches about Fmyc. One of the things we realize as a core team of FM-infused is that not all of our churches really realize or are really super connected with the Free Methodist movement. So if you are connected with Fmyc, we urge you, tell those other youth leaders, find out who the other youth leaders are in your conference and tell them, get them plugged in, get them excited yourself to come and bring their group to Fmyc 2014. And for those churches who maybe they don't have the kinds of resources that some of you do, okay? Let's face it, there's all different kinds of shapes and sizes of churches in our denomination. If you have the resources and you can come alongside to help a group come, please find the way to reach out to that youth worker and help them bring their group, no matter the size. Help them bring their group so that we can all come together as a family and pour into these students and help train up and raise up these future leaders in our denomination. Finally, the last thing we would really love for you to do is begin to pray for the event. We're hitting the ground running, all kinds of details are coming down the pike, and we really need people to begin praying for us, for this. Without God's lead and support in all of this, this is all in vain. We know how God has used this event in the past. We know how God has enriched our denomination through the training up of the leaders that came out of this movement within our Free Methodist movement. Now we really want God, and we really pray that God would come and infuse this movement once more in our denomination and help us as we equip our students to help lead the church. So as far as the details, I want you to get excited about, and you can begin telling people about. Our key speaker of the week comes from Atlanta. His name is Fmyc. He's a church planter. He's been in youth ministry for a long time, just has a lot of great insight and experience he wants to share with us. God is really blessing him, and we are just eager to hear from him and his heart. As we partner with him and sharing with our students, he'll be bringing us the word every day. We are also excited to be partnering with the band Everfound. They're going to be leading us in worship every day, and they're going to be doing a special concert with us. We also want to tell you a little bit about the Madhouse. Now, this is something that's kind of similar to what we've done in the past, kind of different, but the Madhouse stands for Music, Art, and Drama. And what that's all about is helping students with creative abilities be able to flesh those and develop those in being able to use those back in the local church. So one day is going to focus on music, one day is going to focus on art, one day is going to focus on drama. And we have people experienced in those areas who are going to be coming in and helping students develop those skills. Students are going to get to perform, students are going to get to hone their abilities and be able to be unleashed with those skills back in their local church. We are also really pumped because CSU just built a brand new student rec center. And if you go to Fmyc2014.com in the recreation section, you can see a video that tells all about the new recreation opportunities that are available on campus, state-of-the-art dining, just some incredible things and improvements that have been happening on the campus of CSU. It's going to be different. It's going to feel like home for those of you that have been to IYC there in the past, but it's got a lot of things that are different, and we want you to get excited about it. So you're like, Dave, you got me excited about this. I want to get my church. I want to get my group on board with this. How do I get registered? Well, I'm glad you asked. Starting October 1st, you can go to Fmyc2014.com. In the registration section will be a document that you can actually fill out and pay a deposit. It's a $75 deposit per participant. You can pay that to secure those spots, okay? Once you do that, those spots are locked in for you. You don't have to give us any names of individuals at that point. Just how many people you're gonna bring, pay a deposit for that, give us some information on your church. You're good to go with securing those spots. Then by May 20th, you're going to send in the rest of the logistical stuff, okay? Like your permission forms and your health insurance information that we have to have for logistical reasons. You're then also going to pay your final balance by May 20th. So once we begin to get groups registered and pouring in and that sort of thing, you're going to be contacted by our good friend Chadwick Anderson from Illinois. He's going to hook your youth group up with a sister youth group from some other part of the country and give you ways that you can begin to develop a relationship with that youth group that's actually going to carry on through the event in some pretty creative ways and then beyond. Chadwick's our spiritual formation director, by the way. He's going to be heading up our AM 59 sessions and overseeing all of the spiritual formation activities that are going to be taking place. Finally, what you're going to do is you're going to come July 5 through 10, 2014 to Fort Collins, Colorado, Colorado State University. All of our main events are going to be taking place in Moby Arena, which everybody just sort of knows and loves, and we are going to have a blast as a Free Methodist family, as leaders pouring into our future leaders. So don't forget, Fmyc2014.com, Fmyc2014 on Facebook, Fmyc2014 on Twitter, and hashtag Fmyc2014 for whatever other social network you use. Thanks again for watching, and we are even now praying for you as you get ready to come. We'll see you there.